All right, good morning. Welcome to a special edition of Teaching Crypto. Happy Recovery Wednesday. This is AZcrypto, MrFOMO. Hit that like, subscribe, bell notification. Super chats and the store are available. Mr. FOMO, a quick crash yesterday as we briefly touched all-time highs in the 69K area and very quickly went down to 59K within hours. But there is more to this story than a lot of people have been reporting. And what actually happened, and this just blew me away. And I was thinking at the time, wow, that was with all the ETF money, there's still a lot of manipulation. Supposedly, and this is from Token Metrics, trusted site, the BTC dump yesterday was caused by a guy that mined it back in 2010. He held the Bitcoin for 14 years and then dumped them at the all-time highs. And my response, I said on X, is too bad he's not watching our channel. Could have waited another 12, 15 months, could have made a lot more money. I think that guy, whoever he is or she is, never know, might regret that decision yesterday, excuse me, I would say. In fact, I'm going to say they're going to regret that decision in the next 24 to 48 hours, I think, because I think we're probably going to push all-time highs by Friday.
Well, I mean, yeah, they probably may regret that decision, but they'll have billions of dollars to wipe their tears with. So I'm not
sorry for them now.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for them, and I don't feel sorry for their sorrow that'll come later when it gets up to 120. But I'm sure that they cashed out to a significant amount of money.
And who knows? They might buy Bitcoin.
Right, and they may have been the same reason why we rebounded so quickly. They may have bought back at 59. So we don't know what happened, but we know that that person is going to be buying a lot of cool stuff very soon.
Yeah, and if they put their funds back into the alts, hey, that's even better. As ETH early this morning touched 3,900. I was not bullish enough on ETH, Mr. FOMO. I talked about a 4K ETH in March. I'm thinking 5K easily in play here. And it's just how far do we go before the ETH ETF finally gets canceled and they say it's a no-go? Because this thing's a runaway train. It really is.
Well, BlackRock's ETF got kicked out, got rejected, right?
No, not rejected, delayed.
Oh, okay.
Nothing's been rejected, because if it was rejected, you would see the market. And so we saw this, we talked about this playbook with Bitcoin. The closer you get to the ETF date, the higher and higher the ETH will go. And so I think we're going to see a 5K ETH here. I wouldn't surprise me at all if we saw it before April 1st. And who knows? At this cycle, I'd say 10K was good. Now I'm thinking a 10K ETH is just really conservative. Could we see a 15K ETH? Could we see a 20K ETH? Well, I'm telling you right now, 5K does look amazing this month. As 4K, I expect it to happen today. Powell is speaking, so unless there's some type of bad economic news, I think Bitcoin and ETH will both have good days today.
Well, we talked about it earlier before the bull run started. We said that you need ETH, whether you want to make money off of ETH or whether you want to be able to trade in your wallets. You need to have ETH and you need to have exposure to ETH. And so we talked about that at length several times before the bull run started. So hopefully everybody out there has been able to fill up their bags with ETH and other altcoins in preparation for maybe an upcoming alt season.
And you see there 44 days. And the reason I put that up, I kind of like us right now to have a mini alt season. Now, do I expect Bitcoin to hit all-time highs? I do. And I expect it to, trade between 70 and 75K for the month of March. We might make a run at 80, actually, before the halving. However, what I like is I think some more money are going to go into the alts here. And I think you're going to see a mini alt season before a pullback, looking at the ETH ETF date or maybe early to mid-May. But I think March and April, you are going to see some alts run. We've talked about a bunch. You saw a lot of them dip. And if you bought at the dip, for example, Sol yesterday, Mr. FOMO, hit 110. It's already back above 130. And that didn't take long. And so that's great to see. When you see these just bounce back like that, not all of them have bounced that quickly. But the ones that bounced, they're in great shape.
Yeah, I mean, everything was on a 10% off sale yesterday. It didn't matter what you bought. You really came out in the green after you bought it, right? I mean, if you
Mhm.
bought Bitcoin yesterday, you're in the green today. If you bought Sol yesterday, you're in the green today. I bought some more Muse yesterday. I'm in the green today on that. So when you see these flash crashes, especially, that go completely across the market like that, you really have to grab your extra cash and go in hard. And I don't even think I went in hard enough. I was a little bit timid on that one, but you have to look at those flash crashes as opportunities.
Well,
When you see that chart fall off a cliff like that, and Bitcoin's going to come back, Solana's going to come back, that these aren't projects with nothing behind them like some of the meme coins. These are actual projects that are going to stick around, and Bitcoin obviously is going to stick around. So, why not pick some up and then find yourself in the green after that? It's it seems, you've got all this Bitcoin that you bought maybe in the 20s and the 30s, and you've been hanging on to it, and it seems counterintuitive to buy it, 61, 62. But that's the beauty of DCAing on the way up. You get a little flash crash like that, you buy some at 59, 60, 61. We're all the way back up to 66, 67 today. There's no worries in it.
yeah,
So, these bull runs are going to give us opportunities like this. And so if you're new to this, kind of steel your stomach, because yesterday was probably a tough day if you're brand new. But after that happened, Bitcoin is hilariously almost back up to all-time highs again. So you can see what kind of a roller coaster you're on,
well,
so that you don't really have to worry that much when you see a crash like that. What you have to worry about is, do I have any dry powder to throw at this so that I can get into the green a little bit more?
and just as you're speaking, we had some people liquidated. We went from just a little bit below 57 to 55K. So be careful out there. And we talked about this. People get greedy and they take out these longs, and all it takes is seconds, not minutes, not hours, but seconds for you to get liquidated. And I know a lot of people got liquidated yesterday, and it looks like Mr. FOMO, just as we were talking, and I'll show the screen, as you were talking, there were millions and millions of people, hundreds of millions liquidated just like that. As it's there's crazy volatility right now. We were, when I started that conversation with you 20 seconds ago, we were at 65 all the way back to 65.8, but we were around 67 right before the show started. So very volatile right now.
Right. And this is the roller coaster you're on, right? And so if we get another flash crash today, let's say it crashes back down to 60 or 59 again, what do? You look in your pockets, you see what extra change you got, and you throw it at Bitcoin, or you throw it at one of the alts that you believe in. But this isn't a negative thing. This is an opportunity. The market is taking a knee and allowing you to fill up your bags a little bit more.
Yeah, briefly. And like I said, I expect Bitcoin to get above 70 in a matter of days, right? I don't anticipate a week from now, I don't anticipate being at 66 or 65 or 63 or 62. We'll see. You never know. But very volatile. Be careful. And you made a great point. During a bull run, a lot of people see the numbers go up, and that's when they start buying and they start chasing things that are going up. And that's not the time to do it. You want to buy something that's been consolidating that you like. Remember, it's not always what you buy, it's when you buy it. Imagine getting ETH right now at 1,300. I mean, it seems like a long time ago, but there was a show in August. I went back to look. We were begging people to buy, not begging, but we were telling people how much of a great opportunity Bitcoin was at 26K, ETH at 1,300, and Sol under 30. And man, again, we don't have the funds to just pour everything into that. But imagine going back and filling up. And how do you feel right now if you bought at those prices? You feel like a
You
king.
feel great. I know buying Sol in the 30s back then, and looking at it now, you feel awesome.
Yeah. And so it's a matter of perspective. So what are these things going to be 6 months from now in the fall? That's the way to look at it. Not saying don't take profits along the way, but if you really think Bitcoin is going to be under 70K for the rest of this year, then you're sadly mistaken. Anything can happen. But you're right. You made a great point off the air that 69 is now resistance. So we'll see how many days it takes. I don't think it's going to take weeks and months by any means, but it might take a few days.
That level has been resistance since it printed that all-time high during the last bull run. And so it wasn't surprising to see us get rejected once we printed a new all-time high. And so we'll just have to wait and see what Bitcoin does. But it looks like Bitcoin is strengthening and coiling up at this 66, 67 level. I guess 65 now.
I did want to, sorry, go ahead.
And then you could see it popping back above that and very easily, especially with the way that it's been going in the last month or so, you can see it very easily break through that 70,000 barrier and keep moving.
Before we get off the air, very quick Voyager update. Look in your emails. You got an email. Some people did not cash in the checks. So there's approximately about $19 million that are going to go back to the estate now. That's not even 1% recovery. Unfortunately, nothing is going back to the customers until FTX is resolved that situation. As far as we know, still in mediation. Again, Paul can continue to update, give updates, So that email sounded good, but actually not very good. There were some third parties that we'll see how much money they actually get, but that went after Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks. It looks like they're close to a resolution on that, but that won't affect the estate. So if you see that in the news, the bottom line is right now, there is no Voyager recovery, more funds coming in sight for a while. And again, hopefully mediation works, and maybe in the next 2 to 3 months, you would see something, but don't hold your breath. Keep it here for the latest.
Yeah, Paul made it clear that mediation is still ongoing, and he was disappointed in our one show where we saw something on Twitter and we were worried that mediation had ended. And we've been very kind to Paul over the last few shows, and we've said some nice things. So I was kind of disappointed to see the email that he sent, but he was disappointed in our show saying that we weren't.
All you got to do is communicate, right? Once a month is nothing. When you're handling hundreds of millions of dollars of people's money, and that's what it is. It's not crypto anymore. It's just cash. I've seen some comments before. Hopefully they're getting some APR on that.
Well, I mean, how good of a job? Not to get too sour with the guy, but how good of a job can you do if 20 million worth of crypto wasn't cashed in, or 20 million worth of people's money didn't get collected in checks? There's somewhere in there of people that you're missing with communication, and you'd be doing yourself a favor to communicate with channels like ours to get the information out there.
Absolutely. We'll keep hunting, get you the latest. Watch Bitcoin today. I expect a nice continue it to nice bounce back, and we'll see if we can get close to 69K. And watch today for a special 4K ETH. Remember, I'm moving my sights to a 5K ETH, and I'd like to see Bitcoin now get around 75 this month. Those are my new targets. For MrFOMO, this is AZcrypto. Have a great day, everybody.
See you.